तो वरुण, इस वीडियो का पॉइंट ये है बेसिकली कि मुझे बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं अबाउट हाउ टू बिकम अ पायलट। बहुत
Yes.
सारे ऐसे लोग जो मेरे इंस्टाग्राम रील्स देखते हैं और पूछते हैं कि पायलट बनने का प्रोसीजर क्या है, कॉस्ट क्या है। तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि स्लोली स्लोली हम वो क्वेश्चंस को आंसर करें। सबसे पहले आई वांट टू आस्क यू अबाउट द प्रोसेस इन इंडिया। सो इमेजिन मी टू बी student of ninth, 10th standard, and I'm thinking
Right.
of becoming an airline pilot or having a commercial airline pilot job as a potential career. So मैं क्या क्या अभी से सोच सकता हूँ, क्या क्या प्लान कर सकता हूँ, लाइक किस डायरेक्शन में मुझे सोचना चाहिए, हाउ शुड आई प्लान फाइनेंशियली, एकेडमिकली, और क्या क्या करना चाहिए। सो लेट्स से मैं नाइन्थ में हूँ अभी अभी
Mm-hmm.
नाइन्थ और टेंथ, नेक्स्ट ईयर टेंथ है। उसके बाद 11th 12th में व्हाट डू आई नीड?
So, basic requirement आपको चाहिए obviously 10+2
हम्म।
and you need maths, physics and English. That is a minimum requirement for you to be eligible as a commercial pilot license application basically.
हम्म। ओके।
So it is 10+2 or it
हम्म।
can be equivalent as well.
हाँ।
So you can do your diploma as well after 10th
हम्म।
standard.
हम्म।
And if you have your maths and physics, you are still eligible.
हम्म।
And if you don't have, let's say, आपके पास नहीं है 10+2, you have done your 12th standard in commerce stream.
हम्म।
Okay, so what you can do is NIOS के थ्रू आप ओपन वो ओपन बोर्ड है एक, उसके अंदर आप इंग्लिश या मैथ्स का एग्जाम एंड योर फिजिक्स, ऑल ऑफ देम, थ्री ऑफ देम, वो आप
हम्म।
क्लियर कर सकते हो. And
ओके।
then you are eligible to apply for a computer number. That is basically an identity for a pilot throughout his lifetime for DGCA.
ओके। ओके। सो
Yes.
अगर मैं टेंथ में आता हूँ और जब मुझे डिसाइड करना है कि 11th 12th में क्या करना है, सो आई हैव टू लुक फॉर फिजिक्स एंड मैथ्स।
Physics, maths, and English.
बट अगर मुझे इंटरेस्ट या मेरी आई एम नॉट इंक्लाइंड टूवर्ड्स साइंस, तो
Okay.
क्या पॉसिबल है कि मैं कॉमर्स लेके, यू सेड देयर इज अ बोर्ड विच इज
Yes. That is NIOS.
NIOS? ओके, व्हाट डज
Yes.
NIOS स्टैंड फॉर?
But that is some kind of national open board.
हम्म।
So for any specific exams, you can clear that those
ओ,
specific alone
नेशनल
separately.
इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ओपन स्कूलिंग।
Correct. Yeah.
ओके, हाँ। तो वहाँ जाके आई कैन गिव माई एग्जाम्स फॉर
Yes.
फिजिक्स एंड मैथ्स। इज इट हाउ इट
Physics,
इज?
maths, and I believe you should have English in your commerce as well.
ओके।
Yeah.
ऑलराइट। तो मेरा टेंथ में तो यही गोल रहेगा कि आई शुड ट्राई कि फिजिक्स और मैथ्स, लाइक PCM, राइट, PCM लो।
Correct. Not chemistry.
हम्म।
Uh, that is not required. But physics, maths, and English is a set requirement from DGCA.
ओके।
Yeah. So
हम्म।
after you are done with your 12th standard, so it's
हम्म।
basically 10+2, you
हम्म।
should have your physics, maths, and English. That
ओके।
is the bottom line set by DGCA.
ओके। सो
Yes.
ओके,
So I
बट
don't
ये
know, but
वेबसाइट है, सो आई
ये
शुड लुक
वेबसाइट है,
इनटू
इसके ऊपर
दिस।
से अप्लाई कर सकते हो. एंड
राइट।
दिस इज, आई थिंक, इट इज काइंड ऑफ ऑन डिमांड एग्जामिनेशन. इट
हम्म।
हैपेंस in couple of months.
हम्म।
You'll have to check it there.
ओके।
It should
ओके,
be up there.
साउंड्स
Yeah.
गुड। Because
Yeah.
you have done 10+2 in physics and maths, right?
Yes.
You
Yes.
chose
Correct. I
PCM.
had my physics and maths in 10+2.
Okay, and then was it CBSE? What board was it?
So I had done my diploma after 10th standard.
Hmm.
It was a mechanical engineering stream. So they had
Okay.
physics, maths, and English, three of them included.
Okay. Hmm.
So that also works. So what DGCA tells you is that you should have 10+2.
Hmm.
It can be 10+2 equivalent as well. So
Hmm. Hmm.
diploma is considered equivalent certification course.
Okay. So I
Yes.
pulled up the requirement for commercial pilot license. Like
Okay.
in India, especially, there is no general aviation like it is in the States, right? So anybody who really wants to become a pilot, they are usually thinking of a commercial pilot license, right? So
Yes.
हमें तो यही सोच के we have to plan that you are applying for a commercial pilot, right?
Correct.
क्योंकि you don't have you cannot randomly rent a Cessna and just fly, not as
Yeah,
much
you
as
cannot.
in the States, right?
Yes.
So I'm
Mhm.
gonna assume that most of the people want to become commercial pilot holders. So the age is no less than 18 years age on the date of application. Does it mean that I
Correct.
can start flying before and then apply for it later when I turn 18? I'll-
Yes, you can technically start your flying before 18 years of age,
Hmm.
and
When we
the
apply for the
only
certificate or
yes,
the license, I have to be 18.
correct. So after
Okay.
18, you can apply for CPL.
Mm-hmm. Right. And the educational qualification, like you mentioned, it's 10 plus 2 or an equivalent examination with physics and maths from a
Yes.
recognized board and university. Is there
Yeah.
a list of what is a recognized board and university?
I don't think there is anything. So there is one other portal which
Mm.
handles this requirement things. It is called Pariksha DGCA,
Okay.
and that is where your computer number is generated. That is basically a permanent pilot identification for
Hmm.
his whole life. He maintains with DGCA.
Okay.
So
And
this is
this,
the website you would be interacting on your
hmm.
first step of your career.
Okay. And this is after I get my 10 plus 2 done. This, all of this comes
Yes,
after, right? And
correct.
flying. And I start.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next is on the requirements they say for medical fitness. So for me, I'm in 10th standard right now. Do I
Mm-hmm.
have to worry about medical fitness as much right now or think
I
about it?
mean, so it is obviously a good thing to get medical out of the way. You should
Mm,
be medically fit to even start your career,
mm,
and this is a big cost you are going to invest.
mm,
So in India, there are two things, uh, basically two classes of medical you have to do it.
mm,
Uh, First one is class two medicals.
mm,
So there are a couple of tests and a couple of uh, doctors are listed on their website. You
okay.
can go through any of the doctors. You
Mm,
get your tests done, and just he will go through those, and he will issue you class two medical if
mm,
everything is fine. Okay,
okay.
and followed by class two medical, there is one more which is class one medical, which is eventually needed for your CPL,
Okay. Yeah.
meaning your commercial pilot's license.
Mm,
If you have cleared your class 1 medical, you are
mm,
good to go. So you know you're medically fit, and you can put in all the costs, major
how?
costs.
Mm,
uh, then I mean, basically, you know at that point that medical is not going to hinder your flying or maybe any of your application stages.
ओके या
Yeah.
cause मुझे याद है कि मैं जब यूएस आ रहा था उससे पहले आई डोंट नो हाउ बट आई हर्ड that it is recommended to at least get a second class medical before you even think about starting to put money in flying,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Before you
correct.
start investing in, because it's a huge cost, which we'll talk about in some other video, but it's a
Correct.
huge cost. So you want to be prepared and you want to
Yes.
know if you qualify for the medical fitness. And a good way to
Yes.
start is just get a second class medical and
Hmm.
then start flying, right?
Yeah.
And the list of doctors, is it also on the DGCA website here somewhere? I can just Google it, like
Yeah, you
DGCA
can just Google
medical.
it, class 1 empaneled doctors.
Mm. Class 1 or class 2?
I think the circular stays the same for both
Oh,
of
it's
them.
the same.
But
Yes. That's the medical test list. I want the doctors.
both of
Okay,
them
so
would be in the same thing.
list of approved medical examiners.
So you
So,
can Google it. The obviously you will find it by Google, that class one
ah,
medical tests or class one
hmm,
medical examiners, whatever class you want, you can Google it. You'll find a
hmm,
list, and
Hmm.
that's where you can go through. So see, this is 2023, and it
Yeah.
will also have the approval validity. So the last column,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Valid till.
So yeah, you can
I
just go
see.
through that, and obviously you have to first reach out to the examiner,
Hmm.
and he will guide you through.
Okay. And we can just email
Correct.
or call them and then they'll help us with the process.
Correct.
Okay. That's good. Okay. So I contact some medical doctor in my area. I go and get all the tests done. And then if he approves and if he gives me a class two medical or he gives me a green light to go
Mm-hmm.
and start my training, then I can think about joining a flight school,
Not
right?
really. You can. So there is one thing you can. You have to clear your papers,
Hmm.
the examination part.
Hmm.
So I was going to
Okay.
come on to this after medical, that after class two, it
Hmm.
is recommended to parallelly start your exams preparation, being all your theory examinations. So
Okay.
there are in total five theory examinations.
Hmm.
First one being air navigation. Second is
Okay.
aviation meteorology.
Hmm.
Third one is air regulations.
Hmm.
Fourth one is technical general,
Hmm.
and the fifth one is radio license. That comes from a different ministry, that is WPC
Hmm.
as of now.
Okay.
So
And
all these exams are conducted. I mean, are needed for
hmm.
you to get your commercial pilot's license. You can get this cleared anytime when you're flying, but it is anyways recommended that you do this before even you start flying.
Okay. So
And when you are doing all this, that's when you should apply for your class one medical as well
hmm.
before even you start flying, because class one is the one which is very extensive in India,
Hmm.
and most of the times that has to be done in army hospitals,
Hmm.
and couple of other private hospitals are also empaneled by DGCA,
Hmm.
being I think Nanavati in Mumbai, Apollo
Okay. Hmm.
in Chennai, and in north as well somewhere. Other than this, you have to go to army hospitals, and no matter where you are going, the tests are very extensive. You have to. It's basically a full body checkup.
Okay.
So you need to do that before you. You are not needed to do that, but it's very much recommended before even putting any money into, at least into flying. Start.
Hmm.
I'm. I mean, other than that, you can do start clearing your papers before your
Okay.
class.
So this is what you're talking about, right? The he shall pass a written examination in air regulation, air navigation, meteorology, and aircraft and engine signals examination for interpretation
Correct.
of oral and visual signs, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yes.
So five
Those are the
papers.
examples. Yes.
Okay. All right. So to summarize what we've talked until now, I'm I'm
Mhm.
in a I'm in ninth and tenth, and I want to become a commercial pilot. What I need to first think about is my 11th and 12th or 10 plus 2.
Yeah.
So there's multiple ways of doing it. The easiest way is to do physics and maths in science stream in 11th and 12th and get it done.
Hmm.
But there's
Correct.
also other ways, like if you have commerce, you can go to National Institute of Open Schooling. And then if you've already done 10 plus 2 in commerce, then you can go to NIOS and then get the physics and maths requirements from there and English if you need.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So that's educational. Then
Hmm.
age we already talked about, which is we have to be 18 for applying for commercial license, but we can
Yes.
start flying whenever,
Yeah.
right?
So I think I forgot to tell you one more step.
Hmm.
When you have your 12th standard with physics,
Hmm.
maths, English, after that you go and apply your computer number. Right. The
Okay.
first thing you do is apply your computer number.
Hmm.
That is, it doesn't have a age. You can do it before 18 as well. I think it has a threshold of 16 years, I guess.
Okay.
But before 18, you can apply for computer number. Then
Hmm.
after you have your computer number,
Hmm.
you can start giving your theory examination
Hmm.
based on that.
Okay.
And parallelly, correct.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
No,
go ahead.
no, parallelly.
So parallelly, you can do your medicals as well when you're getting your computer number.
So what is the computer number for someone who doesn't know computer number?
Yeah. So as I told you, the Pariksha DGCA website, if you can open
Yeah.
up on your tab.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. So here you can go to flight crew section,
Hmm.
and
Here.
it should open up two pages, and you have to apply on flight crew page.
Hmm.
You basically register yourself there. You submit all your documents
Hmm.
proving that you have done your education as stated by the DGCA circulars.
Hmm.
That is 10 plus 2 with all the required subjects: physics, maths, English.
Hmm.
Then it asks you for all board verifications,
Hmm.
that your all of your certificates are valid and true as per
Hmm.
your boards, and based on that they will issue you a computer number, basically a permanent ID, which you will
Hmm.
carry along your life, throughout your
Hmm.
life.
And
So yeah,
is it
that's
where all my records will be stored with the number and it can be located? Is it
that.
is that the purpose of it? That okay, Chintan Patel's computer number is this, and if the authority wants to locate my records,
Mhm.
then they can just look up my computer number and they can know my everything. Is that what computer number does?
Not really. This the computer number is basically dealing with all the examination part,
Mm.
the theory part which I told you.
Okay.
This deals with that,
Mm.
and the number which you're talking about, to which all the pilot records are related, each
Mm.
is a eGCA ID. That
Oh,
is
it's a
altogether
separate.
a different thing. Yes, it is on
Okay.
a different website named
Mm.
eGCA.
Mm.
That is where you register,
Mm.
and that is just a simple registration as you do it on any of the websites. Likewise, I mean, on a Gmail as well.
Mm.
You create an ID,
Mm.
so that is where all of your records will be stored. For example, your medicals, your logbook.
Okay.
Your logbook is as well maintained under that ID itself. So in India, it is a
Oh,
concept of maintaining a e-logbook. So
that's pretty
all of the
nice. Okay.
record, yeah, all of the records will be on that ID. So there are two things. First is computer number that
Mm.
will relate to your theory examinations. Second
Okay.
thing is your eGCA ID,
Mm.
which also has a track of your computer number. So the eGCA ID is the main thing,
Mm.
which has a track of all the records, including your theory examination through your
Mm.
computer number.
Okay. So
Yes,
computer number is for examinations.
correct.
Do I need any of these numbers for my medical?
You need eGCA ID for your medical.
Okay. So so if I'm out of 10 plus 2, should I just get both of them and have
Yes,
my
both of them
numbers?
are irrespective of each other. You can
Mm.
register on eGCA separately. You
Mm.
can apply for computer number separately.
Okay.
Okay. And for medical, you just need your eGCA ID.
Uh-huh.
You don't need your computer number.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's better to just get both of them, right? You don't
Yes. Yes.
and they don't need any like flying or flight training before,
No.
like it's just a number, like just a record locator
Correct.
for
You can get it out of
examinations and for everything else.
yes. You can start it afresh when you are out of 12th standard. You can
Mm.
create both of them.
Okay. And then they
Yes.
will stay for with me for the rest of my life
Yeah. For the rest
as
of your
long
life.
as I fly in India.
Yes.
Okay, so we did that. Now I have that. Now I'll go look for a medical examiner around me. And then with my eGCA ID, I can get my medic class 2 done at least. And then
Yes.
will the class 2 be automatically linked to my eGCA because I already have it now?
Yeah, so basically how the process goes is that is altogether the application part is lengthy process.
Hmm.
But basically you get your tests done.
Hmm.
The reports should be uploaded on your eGCA ID,
Uh-huh.
and you go to your doctor. Then your
Hmm.
doctor checks those reports physically. He obviously he checks you physically first, then the
Hmm.
reports. He
Hmm.
approves it on eGCA website, and
Ah.
if everything is good, he will approve it directly on the eGCA website. It goes to
Hmm.
DMS cell, which is medical cell into DGCA,
Hmm.
and then the basically assessment is directly rolled out on your eGCA ID, that is eGCA website itself. You don't have any physical copies with you.
Oh, so medical does not come physical cop in a physical
No.
copy?
No, no, no.
Really?
Yeah.
भाई ये तो यूएस से भी आगे है.
अरे बहुत आगे हैं वैसे तो.
In terms of technology, I think India is much better
Yeah,
because
much better.
it has changed. Because when I came in 2018, before coming
Yes.
here, when I got my medical done, then I had to
Mm-hmm.
carry physical, like all the reports physically
Correct.
to the
Mm-hmm.
doctor, and then doctor would have to like put it in an envelope, and then he would put a stamp on it, a seal, and that
Mm-hmm.
seal, the sealed packet, I had to mail it to Delhi.
Okay.
So that, and then the reports, the approval or disapproval came like 2 months later when I was already in the States, and I've had first class here. So back then I thought that we are very slow, but I'm happy that everything has become at least
Yeah.
electronic.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. Everything is electronic now, right now.
That's pretty good. So then, because US में तो अगर if we lose the medical, the paper,
Yeah.
then we don't have a
Yeah.
medical certificate.
Yeah. That's not the
That's
case in
interesting.
India as of now.
Mm. So that's pretty nice. Okay. So then I got my class two, right? So I'm just trying to summarize it for this particular video. So I got my medical now. Now I'm gonna also start preparing for my exams, right? I need
Correct.
to give the 5 tests, 5 exams. I start preparing for this. In maybe the next videos, we'll talk about how to prepare, what are the sources or resources to use. Is going to a coaching class worth it or not? We'll talk about all that later.
Mm-hmm.
But so I prepare for my medical, I prepare for my 5 exams, and then give the 5 exams.
Yes.
And then before flying, is it also recommended to do first class or
Yes. That is the
class
most
one?
important thing you would want to do that. Yes.
Okay. And
Yeah.
because it is very like it's extensive, which means the requirements are probably more
Yeah.
restrictive, right? So
Correct.
you want to make sure that you fall into the normal range, acceptable
Yeah.
range of all the parameters. And I know in
Mm-hmm.
India we count, like we do a full blood checkup, like they'll see RBC counts and everything. Is it still the same?
Yeah. Yeah, it is the same. So
Okay.
the blood checkup is the most, I mean, not the most, the least restrictive thing you can call it in Indian medical checkup for class one. You
Yeah.
do
Oh
have a
wow.
lot of things. I mean, for example, they conduct a sonography as well.
Of the heart? Of what?
No, 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 sonography for abdomen, abdominal
Oh, okay.
sonography, and
Hmm.
plus your ECG. ECG is carried out in class two as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
There are a lot of things, TMT
Okay.
tests, and there are, I mean, a lot of things
Hmm.
which is restricting you
Hmm.
from putting this huge amount of money.
Hmm.
Uh, you can fly, but the thing is, you shouldn't do this. If at all something goes wrong, God forbid,
God forbid, yeah.
then yeah, but then it stands a problem for you.
Okay. So
Yeah,
first
in
class
most of the cases,
medical,
it
we
does not.
should do it.
Yeah,
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 because we are pretty healthy when you're 18,
correct.
20, you're pretty healthy. The goal
Yeah.
is to stay healthy for be first class, a class one medical qualified for
Mm-hmm.
the rest of your life. But it's
Mm-hmm.
good to start with knowing that you're gonna be qualified, right? Because
Yes, correct.
I've had people who would come here in the States for training, but when they go
Mhm.
back, they don't qualify for class one back
Yeah.
in India because of
Yes, it happens.
maybe because it's just a little more stricter than it's in the States, right?
Correct.
So then they have to either come back or they have to figure out a way to get healthier and meet the requirements. So
Yes.
first class is done, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then I probably look for a flight school,
Yes.
which we'll talk about in the next video. We'll talk about
Correct.
once I'm done with all these things, now what I'm thinking, now what I'm planning money wise, where do I do my trading? India, there's people going everywhere to do trading now, right? US is
Yeah,
very popular, but people still go everywhere. I'm sure you know more
correct.
people than me,
Mhm.
and we'll talk about it more. But thank you so much for answering all my questions. The reason I chose you to answer my question is one, you are my friend, and you are right now still in the process of uh, applying, and you just finished converting all your licenses from FA to DGCA, so everything is more updated and fresh in your memory. And
Correct.
I don't know anything about Indian process. In a video separately, we'll talk about US processes, and then you can ask me same questions, and I can also pull up the
Definitely.
questions that I get on Instagram. Like I'll just start reading them and answering them. I'll open publications and everything just like I did here. But yeah, that was my primary reason to ask you, because there's a lot of frequently asked questions, and it's instead of typing them out individually, I thought it's better to like make a series of videos. And I'm sure there
Right.
are more other videos which also guide people, but this is just two friends talking about what to do. Like we are not
Yes.
really industry experts, but we are just thinking just like a regular person would and figuring out the process, right? And
Yes.
maybe we are also learning along. We are also getting to know. I'm getting to know because I don't know much about DGCA. So I like looking up the websites. But thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.
No worries.
Record it. Okay, Varun. તો બેસિકલી આ વિડીયોનો પોઈન્ટ એ છે, અરે ગુજરાતીમાં નહીં.
Wait.
હિન્દીમાં કરવું પડશે.